and high frequencies, everybody. Blackfoot Witch Dream Oracle tapping in really quick. I want to talk to the ladies and some gentlemen about Yoni Eggs. I haven't used the Yoni egg in quite some time, and it may be some people who are on their spiritual journey or tapping more into their sexual energy, or maybe experimenting with Tantra or Kama Sutra. And of course, if you're on this spiritual journey, and especially as a woman, you will encounter Yoni eggs and Yoni. And what we do in our Tantric practice is Yoni breathing with the Yoni egg. And so, just to talk about the Yoni egg really briefly, and the benefits and the precautions you should take with the Yoni egg. It's just like Yoni steaming. I suggest you do your research first. Now, with Yoni eggs, I don't suggest, if you have any type of unusual vaginal secretions, vaginal itching, burning, any type of STD or pain in the uterine or pelvic floor area, should you insert a Yoni egg. Be very cautious before doing so. Like, I don't suggest you do that at all. Matter of fact, if you're having any issues like that, you need to definitely check in with your PCP or your OBGYN. That's going to be first and foremost before you do anything with the Yoni. Okay? Even Yoni steaming. Like, if you have any issues like that, like, check with your OBGYN first. Okay. Next, if you don't have any issues, you really want to strengthen your pelvic floor. So the goal of the Yoni egg is it helps strengthen and tighten up the pelvic floor. It's just like doing Kegels, right? So you are contracting those muscles, and to keep that Yoni egg in. If this is not something that you do on a regular basis with doing Kegels, then it's definitely going to be good for you inserting that Yoni egg and just gripping, all right, and just making sure it's held in place. Now, some misconceptions. People may think, oh, it's gonna fall out while I'm at work, or I may be working out, it's gonna fall out, and it just, just randomly. Now, during your normal day, unless your pelvic floor is like extremely weak and you've had surgery, or if you had some issues, then it possibly could. But most women, it's not going to fall out during your normal activities, going to work, walking around, working out. Working out actually helps us in tightness, because we tighten our pelvic floor. We may not even know it, but we are tightening and squeezing when we work out. Doing just your normal day-to-day cooking, cleaning, working, all that is cool. Even sleeping is cool. Now, one of the things you're going to notice, like when you go to the restroom, if your pelvic floor isn't tight, you may not be able to have a bowel movement while keeping the Yoni egg in place. And that is where I feel like you'll have the most muscle contraction while having the Yoni egg in place, and where you have actually trained those muscles in your vaginal wall and your Yoni to actually do two things at one time. You're tightening and you're releasing, because you're tightening to hold that Yoni egg in place, but you're releasing to have a bowel movement. And when I learned how to do that, a few years when I first started doing Yoni breathing, I was like, wow, I can hold my egg in place at the same time have a bowel movement. But it took some practice. So, and I had to be conscious of it. I just didn't go to the restroom and be like, oh, and then I would have the Yoni egg fall in the toilet when I would urinate, and I had to get it out. So yeah, if you don't like touching your own stuff, then be careful and practice, or you may want to take it out before you go to the restroom, if that's the case. But the goal is to really get those muscles to contract. So I don't suggest you take it out when you go to the restroom, because you want to get to a place where you are able to contract while you have a bowel movement, and you're also able to contract and urinate and have that egg in place. So you should be able to secrete both ways and have a bowel movement. Now, for me, I took my Yoni egg out during sex. Like, I never had my Yoni egg in during sex. Like, I think you should take it out. and making sure that you don't keep it in 24 hours. Like, I definitely suggest like taking it out at least 12 hours, cleaning it, putting it on your altar clean, and then maybe the next day if you want to do it, reinserting it after it's been cleaned. But I wouldn't suggest like going 3-4 days, like having your yoni egg inserted into your vagina. That's just me personally. I know people that keep it in for weeks on end. They don't take it in, but the vagina secretes so much on its own, whether you're getting aroused or not. The vagina is gonna produce these secretions anyway. And so I would like to take mine out, just cleanse my vagina and start anew. Like, I don't want to keep anything inserted inside of my vagina, which can cause bacteria growth, just a whole lot of issues in the vagina. So I take it out. Another thing, if you're on your cycle, I don't suggest you inserting a yoni egg into your vagina. This is a time for your body to cleanse out what is not utilized to create a baby. So it's releasing toxins. It's releasing, the slough off of that has accumulated in your cervix, for the covering for the baby. And if you're not pregnant, you're not having a baby, allow that body to flush that out, right? Don't like hold that yoni egg in there while your body's trying to release at the same time. Like, I don't suggest that, because that can also cause a buildup of bacteria too. So I don't suggest that. During the time that you do have the yoni egg in, this is a good time of inward meditation, silence, connecting back to your body, really sending love energy to the womb space, connecting and understanding your womb and being able to listen to your womb, taking deep breaths, releasing any traumatic experience for those who are rape victims or victims of molestations as a child, or domestic violence. This is a time to really heal your womb. So I've also used it in that time and space to really heal my womb when I was doing holding my yoni egg in. So also looking at it from that perspective. So I just wanted to give a brief rundown of the yoni egg. If you all are utilizing the yoni egg, how to utilize it. And if you don't know how to insert the yoni egg, if you've seen it, it's shaped similar to an egg, but it comes down to a rounded point at the end. So it's a larger part, and then it comes down to a rounded point, similar to like this shape. So when you insert it with the big part up and the pointed part down. All right. You relax your vaginal muscles and then just allow it to, it's going to shoot right on up. The vagina is going to eat it up, and it's going to sit there in your vagina. So you don't have to worry about, am I going to be able to put it in? Is it ever going to come out? I've also had times where I was getting ready to have sex. So I would go to the restroom and just lightly contract and release and do a little bit contraction, almost like you're having a baby if you had one before, and it pushes out. You can push it out. You just focus and push the yoni egg out, so you don't have to do a whole lot and put your finger in there trying to find it. Like, it's not like that. Some yoni eggs do have a string on it. I've never used the one with the string. It wasn't needed. I just used the regular. I have a rose quartz regular yoni egg that I've inserted, and it releases just as fine. There's never any problems. Don't be scared. There's nothing, if you've used tampons before, the tampons can fall out once it's full. And the yoni egg has a little bit of weight on it. It's not going to slip out during the day, but it does have a little bit of weight. So if you are squatting, because it comes out when you're squatting and you're pushing, then it just pops right out. Very simple. So I know when I first started using my yoni egg, these were some questions that I had, and I just wanted to give some enlightenment to some people who may be on that journey. So hopefully this helps you, and as always, I leave you in peace and high frequencies, everybody.